Hey up everyone, Magpie Gaming here. I hope you're all doing well. In today's Starfield video, we're going to be talking about the accessibility options for this game, or the complete lack of them thereof at the moment. So around the beginning of June, I saw an article on IGN's website, and this was not long after the Starfield Direct video had come out, giving us a good showcase of what we can expect from the game. And this article was from a UK streamer, Colo Jones, and she had asked, what kind of accessibility options are we going to get in the game? Now, from watching Starfield Direct, Todd Howard confirmed that there would be a large font mode within the game, and that was it. There was no other accessibility options spoken about in that video, and indeed since then. So obviously I watched this around, I think around the 7th of June when this article went up on IGN. I've revisited the subject today and nothing has changed. Even though the game has come on leaps and bounds and indeed went gold a couple of weeks ago, there's still been no word of what accessibility options disabled gamers can expect to get from the game. And I've got to be completely honest, I come to this subject from a position of naivety. I'm not disabled in any way, so I've never had to look into accessibility options in games. But the more that I've dug into this story in the last couple of days, the more I realised that there are a lot of people out there that are disabled and want to play video games, and they just don't really get the options that they need, or moreover, those options aren't made public until a game is actually released, which I found really strange. So if you could liken it to, let's say you want to go to a tourist attraction, but you have a disability that's going to impact your ability to go there and enjoy the experience. 9 times out of 10 you would be able to go onto a website and have a look, and it would display the disability options for you when you visit the attraction, or you could maybe call them or email them. You would be able to find out what your options are before you purchase a ticket and turn up at the location for the attraction. But with video games it's very different. Very few actually put their disability sort of accessibility options out there before they are released. Some exceptions are Forza Motorsport. They had their accessibility options put out into the public domain 6 months before its planned release. Sony's Santa Monica studio published details of their accessibility options for God of War Ragnarok, as did Ubisoft for Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown. And we're also seeing some older games that are getting new releases, sort of, just these reworked ones that they put back out there. They're getting upgraded to include accessibility options which the original release didn't have. So The Last of Us Part 1, for instance, and Resident Evil 4, they have good accessibility options in now, whereas the original release didn't. But then you go and look at Fallout 4. So I've looked at Fallout 4 today, and there's basically no accessibility options in that game whatsoever, which I found very striking from a studio as big as Bethesda. And now that they're under the banner of Microsoft, I would expect that there would be a sort of default amount of settings that they should and have to include in a game before its release. And I know that all accessibility options aren't going to be the same for different games. Obviously, accessibility options you need in a racing game are going to be a little bit different from what you need in an RPG, but there still should be options in there for people to use. And I'm really surprised that it's not sort of like a default thing that they have to include. And like I say, I find it really strange that they don't put the accessibility options out into the public domain before the game is released. As I say, Starfield went gold 2 weeks ago, so all of the options and the settings menus will be locked in. They will know what accessibility options they've got in there, but they haven't made them public. So they've done that. There's going to be a couple of reasons they haven't done that. One, they've basically got no accessibility options. They're going down the same route as they did with previous games like Skyrim and Fallout 4, where they had limited to no options at all, or they're just not putting it out there like a lot of developers don't. So that's something in my view that needs to change. There's no reason for these options not to be made publicly available before a game's release, and then people can decide on whether they can purchase that game. They can look to see what options are in there and think, right, that and that option is going to allow me to play this game, I'll buy it. Or otherwise they've got to wait for somebody else to purchase the game and let them know what accessibility options are in there. And that is one thing that I am going to do. I'm going to be playing on the 1st, so that is this coming Friday. Before I even go into play the game, I'm going to check out the settings menu. I'm going to look at what accessibility options are in there, if any. So there could be basically none. It could just be this large font mode and that is it. But I will check it out, and I will put a video up on Friday to let you guys know what is in there. So if you do have certain disabilities that prevent you from getting the best out of video games, stick with me and I will let you know what is in there. It could be that some people out there are itching to pull the trigger on this game, but they don't know if they'll ultimately be able to play it. So I'll put a video up, let you know know what the options are, and then you're going to be better able to decide on whether you want to purchase the game or not. But like I say, I find it a little bit disgusting that these options just aren't put out there. You're not giving any spoilers away by letting people know what accessibility options you've got in there. You're not giving none of the storyline away, you know, there's no spoilers whatsoever. All you're doing is opening the game up to a potentially larger audience. So yeah, like I say, I come to this subject from a point of naivety. It's not something that I've looked into before, but I am quite genuinely disgusted that these options just aren't put out there for people to view beforehand. You've got to wait until the game's out. You know, you can't get involved in the build up to the game and get excited for the release day because you just don't know if you're going to be able to play it or not. It's disappointing, to say the least. So yeah, like I say, on Friday I will put that video up as soon as humanly possible to let you guys know what options are in there for the game, accessibility wise. Hopefully there's going to be quite a lot. There looks like there's a lot of information displayed on the screen to you in this game, so accessibility options could be many. Obviously we're going to have a large font mode, that's already been confirmed. Are we going to have a screen reader so that people can hear things? Are we going to have the ability to move things around on the screen so that you can better see them? You know, there are different options that they can put in there. Are we going to be able to change the fonts, you know, the styling of them, the colours of them? Are you going to be able to put a different background on them? Will you be able to change sort of cursor size, things like that? You know, there are a lot of things that could be put in, but we just simply do not know what's going to be in the game right now. But I will put that video out on Friday. Hopefully it helps some people out there, and we'll see where we go from there. With that being said, ladies and gentlemen, let me know down below in the comment section what you think about this subject. Like I say, it's not something I've really ever looked into before, but it seems like there is a very disgruntled number of fans out there that just really want to know now if they're going to have, you know, the accessibility options they need to play the game. So as always, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for watching and listening. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe. Stay safe, and I will catch you in the next one. Take care.